Miracle in Rwanda is the story of a 24-year-old Rwandan Tutsi woman who survived genocide under extreme conditions. It's also a one-woman show created and performed by Leslie Louis Sword, which kicked off its world tour here in the Philippines this month. I was able to sit down with Miss Sword, and she told me all about the courageous woman that inspired the play, as well as life growing up as a Filipino African American. What's it like growing up as half Filipino, half African American in the U.S.? Did you experience any difficulties, and how did you approach it, or how did you deal with it?
It means I like collard greens and pancit.
Now, where did you identify more?
I identified more as black. I think I look more black. And although my mom, we had lots of Filipino friends come over, things like that, I think she wanted us to identify as black more. And now that I'm an adult, I'm really appreciating being here as a Filipina.
Now, what values or what Filipino values did your mom instill in you? Did you remember?
Well, I remember her saying a lot, "Walang hiya!" So maybe I learned some hiya as I got older.
Okay. Tell us about your one-woman play, Miracle in Rwanda.
So I'm telling the story of Nicola-Lewis, who survived the genocide in 1994 in Rwanda, where almost 1 million people were killed. She survived by hiding in a 3-foot by 4-foot bathroom for 91 days with up to 7 other women and children. And she lost 40 pounds while she was in there. But what she found was a deeper faith in God, because she made a decision to pray the rosary every moment of the day that she was in there. And the rosary is a very rote prayer, as you know, that allowed for her to go within. Instead of listening to the chaos that was outside, she went to the divine that's within.
Now, what made you decide to do this play and take it to different parts of the world?
I'll be doing it in Vancouver, actually, in September. The opening is September 8th, and it's running through the 19th and then to the 10th of October at the Arts Club. And there are lots of Filipino overseas workers there, so I look forward to meeting new people when they come to my show there. And the reason why I want to make a show about it is because even though I can't relate to being in a genocide, I can relate to the idea that our thoughts can be more painful than things actually happening. So something happens. Say, my child doesn't want to take, this is just happening right now. My son doesn't want to take his nap. And I can react to that with just a feeling of calm, like, oh, it's okay, find a way I can feel good about it, or I can get angry and upset and papaluin kikaw. Well, those are two different emotional choices that I can make. I can choose to be calm and say, well, stay in your room, or I can have a different emotional reaction. And what Immaculate's story does, it teaches us how to have a different emotional reaction to what happens in our life.
What do you hope to achieve in bringing this play, in performing in Manila and Vancouver in different venues across the globe?
I love doing this show because it really shows what's possible in the human experience. So I just hope that it expands people's minds, opens their hearts.
Now, what should you advise the youth in how they should shape their worldview?
I think that if everybody really followed their bliss, did things that made them feel joyful, cared about how they felt, and tried to find ways to feel better without harming others, that the world would be a better place.
Thank you very much. We're taking a short break. Stay tuned. This is Crossing Borders on ANC.